Hello world, welcome to my channel, Proteus Augustus. I'm an artist, scientist, and American Constitutionist. Today is December 21st, 2021. I've been in Colorado for over a year and a half by a couple of weeks. And I'm still trying to get out of this state. You see, the people in this state have an idea of the kinds of people they want here. And they know how to dispense with people they don't want here. I am proof of that. But I'll get to that in the future. This video is a preface to 3 videos I took in August of this year, 2021, a day prior to my second appearance in Arapahoe County Court to address a civil matter that one Miss Monroe brought against me that was fallacious and illegally brought. But somehow she talked this judge into issuing the paper against me, which turned out to be bogus, and the judge retired. But because I was under duress and my life was being threatened, I was trying to get as much information out as possible, so some of the information may be hard to follow. So I'm going to preface that with this video and tell you the main players. When I talk about Chris Monroe, she is a part owner of 2601 South Kingston Court in Aurora, Colorado. Right? When I talk about a Michael Gropper, he's a guy that tries to get the grant money for his culinary arts program for veterans. He works, or I don't know if he's still there, over at the American Legion in Denver, where he was training me and another person. I was getting paid by not him, but this woman that he was siphoning money off of, through her consent, right? Over at the Volunteers of America. The other parties involved was a man called Travis over at the Salvation Army, who, the day prior to me appearing in court, right, drummed up this whole reason to kick me out and put me in the street, which meant I had no access to my paperwork, right? But I still had the storage place, which was getting compromised. It's Greenbox Self-Storage that I mentioned. The question is whether those 2 ladies were unwilling co-conspirators, because this guy came in, and he may be the man that threatened to kill me if I didn't leave Miss Monroe's house. He caused a big to-do. He wanted to fight me. He's like, got a dog and, all that, right? And then they end up kicking me out because he caused the problem for me. And in their ignorant wisdom, somehow I'm responsible, even though I had been a good tenant there for months, at least 4 months. And he comes in 3 days and destroys everything. And they were more than willing to get rid of me. And they wouldn't even give me another storage place downtown. They got plenty of it. Right? Well, those people may be involved. They may not be necessarily involved. It remains to be seen under investigation, just like Nick over at the Salvation Army, who Miss Monroe was friends with. Right? The question is, how much did he work with her? Now, in his defense, when I told him not to give her any more money, I believe he did so. But she still robbed me of a substantial sum, let's say. Right? And what she was doing is she was committing robbery against her tenants under this idea that she had a program. Right? And she got people to sign this adhesion contract. Me, I had a verbal agreement. She forced me to sign the adhesion contract after I had already moved in, which can invalidate the contract altogether. I'm not going to get into all that right now. Right? But the bottom line is, Miss Monroe contacted Michael Gropper, who I was working with, and people over at the Salvation Army, right? To attack my character and justify her kicking me off her property, right? Now, I stay some of the elements in the next 3 videos. Like I said, this is just a preface. This isn't the whole story. I'm just trying to put this stuff on YouTube for, at a minimum, posterity purposes. And I recorded those 3 videos on my phone at the time in case something happened to me. And I told someone that if I didn't contact the person in a certain time, that they probably aren't alive. That's how serious these people are. Okay? So again, Miss Monroe, Michael Grappa, this guy Travis, possibly Nick also at the Salvation Army, and 2 employees at Greenbox Self-Storage. And this guy, I want to know who he was that did this, right? Of course, then nobody's telling me. And you go, and also a veteran went missing from Miss Monroe's house that I started to press her on. I want to know what happened to him. I mean, the people that I was working with didn't know him. But the people at Miss Monroe's house did. And they said he came up missing. Now, I'll get into all that later. Right? The point that I'm trying to make here is, it was under duress when I did those 3 videos, and I want you to understand who the players are. And after those 3 videos, I'll talk about what the state of Colorado did to me. They almost killed me. If it wasn't for a man who had Christ in his soul to save my life, I may be dead today at the hands of the depraved policies of the state of Colorado, which they will be in court over. You see, as long as they keep me in this position that I'm in, and I don't get the funds, the monies that I'm trying to acquire, that I'm entitled to, without getting into detail, the more pushback I get from these bureaucrats, right? It's just a stalling tactic. That's the way I see it. Because eventually, I'm going to get back on my feet. And I have more than enough time to sue these people. They're not free of me. They think they're free of me. They still don't understand that I'm a polymath. I understand the law up and down, left and right. I don't care if a guy's got a robe on or not. You know, it amazes me how much I have to explain to a judge that he should know right off the bat. Just like in the federal case. Right? But I'll get into that later. So anyways, again, the 3rd time. Miss Monroe, Michael Grappa, this guy Travis, Nick at the Salvation Army, and possibly these 2 employees at the Green Box Self-Storage. I know the guy that caused the problems involved. This is going to require a little investigation. And like, you know, the cops don't want to do nothing, so it's only a matter of money for me. You know? And how much I want to invest in that person. But the other people I have, because it's all recorded. Miss Monroe tied the Salvation Army and the Volunteers of America in a court of law under recordation. Okay? So anyways, all of these videos are going to be called the Monroe Affair. It's probably going to raise some questions in people's minds, because it would just take too long for me to explain every little detail. But there is public record. And there will be more public record as I go along. Because they will answer to me. They will. Okay? The Monroe Affair.